What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, in the world of indie games, we are checking out Foundation, which just had its 1.6 update. I'm very, very excited about this. I think we're going to have a really rad time today. This is one of those rare games that, like, every single week I check on it to see if there's new updates, and this week, there was an update. So Minerals and Craftsmanship has been added to the game, which has added a bunch of new jobs, a bunch of new things that you can get up to, and a bunch of new fun to have. So if you have this game in your library, now might be a time to check back in. We got to pick a spot where we want to put our city. I don't think there's enough city builders on that point. I wish there was more. People spend so much time making card games nowadays when they could be making themselves good, sexy, respectable city builders. I just don't understand it, man. I love city builders. I would love a new game like Banished like every 6 months or so, but you just don't get that. You just don't get it. We got to purchase some land at the beginning of the game. And so we can either go with this little central area right here, or, ooh, it looks like there's lots of fish. Okay, so I'm going to go with this area right here. There we go. So this is our area. So we have a new quest. It wants us to build a village center. Yeah, I think I can probably take care of that. I think that's the kind of thing that I can probably do. There's our village center right there. We're going to want it to kind of be in between all the resources. We'll go ahead and start our construction, and bam! There's our little dudes, up and running, ready to rock, doing their thing. So we got villagers all over the place. There's going to be a number of jobs that we can give these villagers, but quintessential to the whole thing is that I think we don't have forbidden land right now. Oh, is it not like going to unlock it for us? Okay, it wants us to do a builder's workshop first. That's actually a new building? Is that a new building? I think that might be a new building. Let's see here. Builders can be assigned here to work on construction around the village. I think that's a new building. I'm not like 100% sure that that's a new building, but I feel like that's a new building. It looks like they enter in that way, right there. Yeah, so we'll put that right there. Sounds good. Everybody go build me like a village thing. And it looks like it comes with a cart. We've got like some maps and some schematics. We've got a log right there with a drawing of like a avocado on top of a steak. You know, we got all kinds of good stuff going on. Builder's Workshop is ready to rock. So now that's been taken care of, that's going to unlock a lot of our other productivity buildings that we're going to be able to play around with, as you can see right here. So the main productivities that we're going to need to be the most productive about are going to be food, rocks, and then we also need some trees. I foresee that trees are going to be the main problem with this starting load. Actually, no, it's not. I didn't realize that we were on like a little isthmus type deal right here. Yeah, I didn't realize that. We can actually pretty safely go in this direction and then just develop this entire area. Once we've utilized the resources from these hills over here, that's when we're going to be able to, I think anyways, build bridges across here, and we'll just kind of connect this all together, but one thing at a time. One thing at a time. So we want extraction zones. Extraction zones are pretty simple. Those are areas that you're going to be pulling resources out of. There we go. Extraction zone number 1, and we'll put a lumberjackin'. We'll put ye olde lumberjackin' hut over here just to make it a little bit smoother. We want them to extract from there. We want them to extract from there. I'm okay with leaving the rest of the trees alone for right now. Instead, what we'll do is, let's see here. How many resources do I have? I have 35 wood. So we want the lumber camp first. It's going to cost us 20 coins to do this and 5 tools. Yeah, I remember tools being sort of a thing that you really got to spend. Let's go ahead and we'll put that right there so that we get the maximum amount of trees. There we go. So we'll start that construction right there. We are going to have to assign some of our villagers. So anyways, let's go ahead and we will find the menu where we do that at. I believe it's right here. So there we go. I would like for you to be a builder. I would like for you to be a builder. I would like for you to be a woodcutter and you to be a woodcutter, and you will see they get like a little axe that pops out in their hand. These two guys are going to go over here, and they're going to start doing, yeah, they're going to start reviewing the papers. Review the papers. The other thing that I would like to do is let's go ahead and we're going to set up a gathering hut, which is going to be right, let's call it, yeah, we'll call it right there. That's fine. And one really cool thing about this game is like the footpaths and the travel and whatnot. It'll make it such that your city will actually naturally develop roads. So as they walk around, they erode the grass and make it go away. You can already see it happening right there. They will make their own little paths and their own little natural roads. as the game goes along, which is really kind of a cool feature if you watch it happen. It's very sort of like immersive and also emergent, and it makes you feel like you're really responsible for the terraforming and the design of the entire map. I'm really glad they split up and they're each building one building. That makes me super happy that they did that. You're going to be a forager, and then you're going to be a forager, and that leaves us with 2 people left to be rock gatherers. Sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead, and is the lumberjacking hut done? It is. Nice. So we should see these little guys go off to work. Yeah, there they go. Very nice. Stonecutter camp, we will put that in like right there. Perfect. We are going to be going through money a little bit. Money is the main resource in this game. It's a little bit... It's very, very easy in this game to think that like wood and tools and stone and food are the most important. They are. They are important. Your people will die if you don't have most of those things, and you won't be able to kind of like develop... you won't be able to develop your city and get stronger. That being said... Oh, it's not done yet. I was going to say I wasn't super sure. Yeah, they should auto-assign themselves over here. I don't think it used to be like that, in fact. I don't know, though. I can't remember. It's been a while since I checked in on this game, but I feel like you used to click on the building, and then you would click on these empty slots right here, and you would just tell them to go do stuff, and that would assign their job. But I guess we can do it through here. It looks like the leveling is working as well, so they're going to get stronger at some of these jobs. This game also uses kind of an anno system, where everybody has needs, and they have things that they want, and if you fulfill those needs and those wants, then they can upgrade their status within the confines of the town. Like they can go from being a peasant to a serf to nobility, so on and so forth, based on the resources that are going to be available to them and the amount of wealth that they have on hand. Did I assign these guys to be stonecutters? I don't think that I did. Okay, you be a miner, and you be a miner. The next thing it's probably going to want me to do is to build a... Yeah, we're going to need a granary, we're going to need a transporter, and we're going to need some other stuff. We're also going to have to go through, and we're going to have to create a market so that they can sell things off. It's kind of like one step at a time. You just got to get stuff done. We should also probably... Actually, they're doing a pretty good job of deforesting this area. I'm sort of surprised. Let's go ahead and I'm going to unassign one of you guys because they want me to do that. We'll take, let's call it, can't find a place to work. Oh, it's not done being built yet. I was like, I'm expecting, I usually play this game on like 3x speed, so I keep expecting things to be done and then they're not. You can be a transporter. We'll reassign him for right now. He'll be the Jason Statham that we deserve. And then we needed to do a granary, which should probably be round about the center of town somewhere, in all honesty. It's just kind of like my thinking, is that you would probably want the granary to be in the center of town. We'll start construction right there. However, we don't have any stone, so until that's done, it's going to take us a little bit to really, like, knock this out. Okay, so our stone builder is done now. It's all ready to rock, and that means that we can go ahead with the rest of this construction. We don't have the stone yet, but once we do have the stone, they'll go ahead and they'll actively deliver it. So I'm going to speed the game up for just a minute so we can get it done a little bit faster. It looks like we put both of them on mining tasks. They're hardy women, all right? Very, very mighty, able to knock stone. Basically, they've got dwarvish blood, is the way that I like to think about it. I feel like it rationalizes the situation a lot better. These ladies right here, they've got that old dwarvish blood inside of them. The dwarves may be gone, but their spirit lives on. It's getting pretty close to completed. There we go. And so he's brought over the stone. It looks like they actually just store it over here. Yeah, it looks like it's sitting inside that stockpile right there. I don't know if that's a change as well. People are trying to fulfill their needs. We're looking really, really good. We've completed the task that they wanted us to get underway. What are they going to throw at me next? We got to assign food to the granary. All right, do it. There you go. We're now storing food inside of the granary. And so we get a free $100. Don't you just love it when the universe gives you $100 for putting raspberries inside your closet? I know. Normally, Mom gets mad when I put raspberries in the closet, but this time around, it seems to be working out okay. These guys are going to need well water if they want to survive. I highly recommend that we put the well somewhere about the center of town. That seems to be the right idea. I've always thought, like, you ever think about how crazy it is that in Elden times, right? In olden times, in ancient times, the times way back in the day. You ever think about how weird it is that, like, everyone's water was just, like, in a centralized location? All it would take is for, like, one crazy person to poop in the water, dude. And then nobody gets water. That always worries me. with a public well. That whole situation just doesn't feel right to me. It makes me worry that maybe we've got a bit of a civic planning disaster in the making going on. Like, it just seems like it'd be really, really easy to sabotage the water supply. I don't know. Maybe that's not a thing that a rational person worries about, but I worry about it. All right, I live in the city. There's lots of crazy people around. There's all kinds of crazy stuff happening. I give it like 8 seconds before we build our well and somebody takes a poop in it, all right? I give it 8 seconds knowing where I live.
Hey, buddy, you almost done with that well right there? I don't mean to bother you. Hey, I like your mustache.
There you go. All right, so the well is done. They also want us to build a market. One thing that I think could be changed about this game is so they don't really give you enough villagers. Like, they give you enough villagers. That's wrong. But, like, so at the beginning of the game, you have, like, what, like 8 people? And really, if you want to gather resources, you got to have, like, a little more than that. You know what I mean? And so sometimes I wish that you had, like, 2 more people. Just, like, 2 more. Just 10 instead of 8. Just to make it a little simpler to plan who's going to work where. Because I feel like at the beginning of the game, I'm constantly swapping jobs around a lot of the time. We needed to build ourselves a market. The market is going to be our first building that produces revenues, which is something that you've actually really got to worry about. And so this is also our first modular building, as far as I know. I think. I don't really know that for certain, but I think it's our first modular building. So we've got our food cart right here. This is a thing that this game uses to great effect as you get further on into the game. You can build custom buildings. And so really there's these little add-on parts to each of the buildings that make them more or less successful and make them look more and more unique. And you can really attach these to any of the green points that you see on there. And that means that, like, no two people's market will look exactly the same. Like, you've got these little, you know, parts right here, like 7 parts that can be arranged in a million different ways. And you can make some really, really cool designs if that's what you want to do. Just make sure that you click Start Construction. If you don't start the construction, it'll just sit there with the blueprint, and you'll be scratching your head being like, how come they haven't built the thing that I wanted them to build? That's a problem that I've run into when recording series in the past when first starting out in this game. We've got like a nice little sunburst pattern going on right here. I dig it. All 10 wood has been dropped off by one of our builders. Our lumberjackers are jacking. Just jacking all day long. Look at this man out here just jacking wood. Just doing what he's got to do. I don't know. I feel like you've got options. You know, you could go with a wooder jack. You could go with the logger jack. How come they settled on lumberjack? How come that was it like a meeting that they had? We've got to assign this. So we've got the market. It is unused. We will sell berries from the market. And then on top of that, we also need to assign somebody to work on over here because nobody works here. I don't want to reassign anybody. Let's just reassign a builder. How about that? We'll reassign a builder, and that builder will be a market tender for now. Pretty soon we'll have immigration. We'll be able to move people around quite a bit, and it won't be that big of a headache getting everybody into every job that they need to have. But you may have noticed that we have a little bit of like a deficit right here. That deficit is going to be negated by having a market. We collect tax revenues from everything sold over here. And so that's what I meant when I said this is the first revenue collecting building in the game. As you get further on in, you'll get other buildings that do very similar stuff. But for now, that's what we got. We've got fish over there, so we could make a fisherman down here. Are we allowed to make a fisherman right now, or are we still not like at fisherman levels? I don't think we're at fisherman levels. All right, so we want to maximize our immigration. The way we do that is we do this by, oh, we don't have the option to do the thing that we wanted to do. Well, I was going to tell them to build houses all along this strip right here and like all along a strip like over here, but we don't have that yet. We have reforestation, we have forbidden land, we've got extraction, but we don't have the residential area just yet. I assume, hey, nice. I think we've just got to wait for this to work. And as you can see, as people get access to food and they get the ability to fulfill the amount of water that they want to drink and everything, their happiness will go up in this top left corner. It's gone from 0 up to 88 so far, and I think we've got 1 or 2 more people that need to buy food before everyone in town is happy. So there we go. Everyone in town is happy, therefore our immigration possibility is maximized. There's 2 people that are joining. We now have the 10 that I desired. That makes me very, very happy. I'm super pleased that we have 10 people. So what I'm going to do is, where are they coming in from? As I recall, they may actually have a weird spawn. Hopefully, they spawn over here somewhere. Because if they spawn, like, anywhere really over here or, like, over there, they're not going to be able to get to us. And so that'll be a little bit depressing. And I don't like being depressed. I like being happy. That's one of my favorite Silicon Valley quotes. Silicon Valley is one of my favorite TV shows. And there's one where they got the kid from, like, The Sixth Sense or whatever. Now that he's grown up, he was on Silicon Valley. Haley Joel Osment or whatever his name was. Anyways, he plays, like, an eccentric billionaire in the show that's, like, developing VR technology. And he's like, you made me feel bad. I don't like feeling bad. I like to feel good. I like getting what I want. And, like, how could you do this to me? Like, he's like a billionaire who's just, like, used to getting all the things that he wants. And so, like, he gets told no once and he just, like, crumbles. Let's see here. We've got... Where are my newbies at? Where are my new amigos at? Are they in town here? Apparently they just now got here. I've been sitting here for a while waiting for them to arrive. It's probably been about, oh, dude, I've been sitting here for like 3 or 4 minutes. I think they found their way, though. The kingdom recognizes your efforts in establishing your settlement. Nice. So we're going to get effects. These effects right here, the hammers and the swords, they matter. So there's hammers, swords, and I think like crosses or something like that. And it represents your relationship with the king, with the people, and with the church. And you've got to kind of like balance that. That mechanic is not fully implemented into the game yet, but it will be someday, where like part of running your city is deciding who you're going to side with. Ah, we got residential zones now. Very nice. Okay, so what do I have available here? Let's go ahead and slow the game back down. We probably got some new buildings. We got the Lord's Manor right there. You know, we don't really... I guess it wants me to build the Lord's Manor, but the Lord's Manor is really pricey from what I remember. We can put the Lord's Manor... I feel like we've got a nice little space right here. I don't know. I guess we could sort of put it, like, about the edge of town somewhere. That might work out. Like, put it over here where we've cleared out all this space, or put it, like, right here. I'm worried we're not going to have enough space to do that, though. I'll put it right there. Alright, so there's the Lord's Core right there. I think it's a good idea. We'll put the Lord's Manor right there. And I can always disassemble this later if I really want to. We can also... I need a door. So we can put the door in right there. It's going to take 14 planks and some stone in order to get this done. We could also do a wooden tower. I'm pretty sure the wooden tower... Yeah, we can give these a function. So basically there's parts of the building that do not have functions, and there's parts of the building that do have functions. So let's say that we take these right here, right? And we slap these on right here. And we kind of just like expand this out a little bit, and we make it look like that. Each of these little buildings, we can give this a function, and we can tell it what to do. So we can be like, store gold inside of there, or like store food, or whatever you want to do. I'm going to start construction right there. We don't have any planks, so it's not really going to help us out that much. I would like for one of you guys to go do something. I'll decide in a minute, though. I think we need to get planks first. So where's my sawmill at? Let me get my sawmill here. We can kind of put our sawmill about the edge of town, I think. Yeah, it looks okay to me. There we go. So we'll start the sawmill right there, and then we'll assign a couple people to work there so that we start producing planks. And once we've produced the planks... Oh, he's installing the stone stuff first. And one of the really cool things about this game is that, like, when they do the stone stuff first, you see the stone things go up, which is kind of neat. I don't know. I've liked that. I mean, it might just be a perceptional thing, because they're adding more wood to it right there. Well, you know. They got a little small percentage of it done. There we go. So our sawmill is finally done. Now we can produce planks. I'm going to unassign Mary from being a builder. I put a bunch of people on being builders. I don't really think that's necessary. You guys go be a carpenter. You can be a builder, I guess, for now, but I'll probably take Florence off of being a builder pretty soon. We're still going to wait for the Lord's Manor to be up and running, so this is kind of just like a little short edit to show that the woodcutter is done. But we're getting there. We're moving along. I do think one thing we could work on while we wait for that, actually, is we could decide where our residential zones are going to be. I think our residential should be, like, back... Oh, they want to live by the water. Gotcha. And they definitely don't want to live over there. Okay. One thing that we are going to need to do then is I was kind of hoping, I don't want to build down by the water because I want to use, I would very much like to use this space for fisheries and whatnot. I'm going to wait until they chop down this entire chunk of area. I don't know if it's because they want like unrestricted, they want like natural areas or whatever. I don't know. There we go. So I was waiting for these lumberjacks to finish off these trees over here so that I could make this all kind of like residential, I guess. And what we'll do is we'll kind of take this and we'll assign this as like our first little residential zone where people live. The desirability is not great, but that should fix once I get rid of this little work zone right here. And we'll just call this all residential. And residential is kind of cool in the way that it functions in this game. You don't really have to worry about it that much. It's kind of like set it and forget it. They will just take the land that they want when they want it, and they will build houses, as you can see right there. Like, they just do that on their own. When I first started playing this game, I was like, how do I make them build houses? I can't figure it out. How do I make them build houses? As it turns out, they just do it on their own. I've been playing this game for a long time, and I don't think I've ever seen a game where the entire residential part of the game is just, like, left out in favor of automation. So pretty much everything in this game is production lines for the most part. You're enabling production lines in order to like force them to build more stuff, basically, to make it more ooh, Grace is okay. So the construction's not totally done with all the add-ons down here, but it'll get there. I'm going to assign both of these little back areas, I think, to be treasuries. You can also assign them just to generate, like, majesty for you. You can assign them to, like, generate various resources that are kind of like esoteric resources for unlocking buildings, sort of pseudo-research type things. Not important for right now, though. Not important for right now. So we've got a house over there. These guys are naturally going to want to kind of like seek out and have a home. So when you assign your first residential zone, you should see a pretty considerable explosion in growth in my experience. They should try to mash that out really, really quickly, especially if the desirability ends up being pretty high. There we go. So this will be our little residential sector right there. And once the builders get free up, and they are no longer working on this stuff over here, you will note that they'll come over and they will start building houses, which should give us some easy-peasy places for all of our little people to live, which sounds like the plan to me. I really don't have any issue with that. I think it's going to work out pretty damn well. I think we're just about out of time for the day. I don't know exactly where this video is going to be cut at, and so I'm a little bit worried it's going to be a tiny bit short, just because there's been some large edits as I waited for other things to happen and take place. But from where I'm sitting right now, yeah, you guys need to get back to it, man. Where my lumberjacks at? Where my woodcutters at? Let me get another woodcutter out here. Oh, I haven't set up the extraction zone. Ah, yes. The classic foible. I would like all these trees gone. If you guys can chop down all of these trees along our border. I don't really care about preserving the natural wonder and splendor of this area for right now. We'll have plenty of natural wonder and splendor along the sides of town, but for the moment, what I would like is for all this stuff to go away, and I need my wood choppers to do this rapidly. I need them to bring a lot of wood back, because we're not producing planks, which means our Lord's Manor is not getting done. We're not, producing wood, which means our houses are not getting done. Not having this up and functioning because I forgot to set up the extraction zone over there was actually kind of a major setback. It's kind of a problem that got in the way a little bit. Either way, though, you can see them over here attempting to deliver wood to their houses. I think they'll probably finish this off first, would be my guess. Like, they may, yeah, they're going to prioritize the sawmill first. And then once this is done, these functions right here, so I can call this like a, so let's call, we've got the, we'll call that a great hall right there. And then this right here, its function will be as a treasury. And we'll call that a treasury. And look, now we can store 860 gold instead of 500. So if you were wondering how to increase your gold cap, that's how you do it. You're going to want to add expansions onto the Lord's Manor. So all of our money is stored in like these little, I don't know, horse barns or whatever those are in the back right there. Those little tack rooms or whatever they are. I'm not exactly sure what they're supposed to be. Our first house is on its way up too, which is really, really rad. These guys would like to have a religious service. If you wanted to build that, I believe we do that through the public building. Let's see here. We do this through, yeah, there it is. This is going to be another modular building that you're going to be able to build, just like the Lord's Manor, so you can customize your church and make it look like whatever you want it to look like. I do think that's one of the main appeals of this game is how many buildings are customizable in it and how much fun you can have just kind of designing and redesigning things. My name is Splattercat. This is Foundation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love this game. I think it's really, really rad. I think this game is kind of like the great city builder hope that I've been waiting on for a long time, ever since like Banished got old. But I'll see y'all later. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed this update. If you want to see more, leave likes on the video. Let me know down below, and I will do my best in order to make that happen. I would love to have this be a long-running series, but you never know. You know, the whims of the internet. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to check out the Discord and the Twitch stream, and I'll be back with something hot and fresh out the Indie Skillet tomorrow.